everybody. This is Dr. Mora. I wanted to present to you guys a root tear variant, a medial meniscus root tear variant. Why am I calling it a variant? Because it doesn't quite look like your classic root tear avulsion. So let me show you what we have here. This is a 50-year-old patient's MRI that presented with acute onset medial knee pain. There was some arthritis on the x-ray, but the history was pointing towards a root tear. What do I mean by that? Usually acute onset pain, just simply walking too fast or walking down the stairs. This is what the MRI showed. Here's a femur, here's a tibia, joint space, lateral side IT band, lateral meniscus, anterior horn lateral meniscus, and that little triangle right there is a medial meniscus. What's interesting about this, or what you will notice, is that the medial meniscus is actually not quite underneath the joint. It's actually been pushed out of the joint, and that's why the MCL and the capsule is concave over here. So it's been pushed out, and once it pushes out, there's increased downward force as the patient walks, increased load, axial load on the bone because hoop stress is no longer there, and then there's bone marrow edema, or basically trabecular bone failure. I mean, look, you can look back over here, big bone marrow edema defect. So everything is pointing towards a root tear. So what I do now is I head to the back of the knee, Normally there's a gap over here. I always say look for the gap. There's no gap. The ligament is actually still present. The root ligament is still present, but it's attenuated, very thin, and actually elongated, very abnormal. And then when we go to the sagittal images, I expect to see a ghost sign. So what I do, I find a PCL, there's a PCL, one click medial, there's the meniscus root right there, a little abnormality, but not quite your classic ghost sign. So when I went into this patient's knee, I discovered that it looked like it was intact, but based on the history, MRI findings, including extruded meniscus, abnormality of the root ligament over there, this patient basically had a root avulsion. Dr. LaPrade would classify it most likely as a type 1 just based on the way it looks, but it was actually, from the functional standpoint, a unstable root tear, which I went on to fix. Why did I fix it? Because we needed to prevent this from happening. So the meniscus was pulled back in, root was repaired, and the hoop stresses were reestablished. I hope that explanation helped on this very interesting posterior horn root avulsion variant. They're out there. Remember, they are everywhere if you look. You guys take care. Have a great day. This is Dr. Mora, bringing you more cutting edge orthopedic surgery. Cheers.